I was a teacher, and William Prince was, I think, my accompanist, and I was showing a pupil how to sing, but it was in the studio, I remember, and they used the recital hall, the small studio at Carnegie Hall, with staircase and all, and there where they did the number. And I sang La Danza.
I was going to ask you, what did you sing?
La Danza and O Sole Mio.
Really?
Yeah. And today, whenever I go to South America or Europe, there's always somebody tell me, I remember you singing La Danza and O Sole Mio. And just the other day, when I say that, about a half year ago, I was on a cruise, a singing cruise, and we had special permission to go to Cuba. And we were the first contingent. It was Leonard Rose, myself, and Lauren Hollander. At first, we didn't know whether we wanted to go to Cuba, and nevertheless, what harm is there to go to Cuba? So we went and sanctioned to the State Department, and we went there, and we met the wonderful ballet.
Alicia Alonso?
Oh, she's so wonderful. And so they appeared in part of the program. We appeared. It was Cuba and America joining in, shaking hands, and creating this musical evening, which was a wonderful evening. And I had the greatest thrill. I hadn't been in Cuba for 32 years. And men who had sung with me in the opera when I went to the Parate Theater, and they came to pay their respects and tell me, my God, 32 years have gone by and you're still singing and you're still functioning and it sounds so wonderful. I was very complimented. And they again spoke about the picture that
really
that they remember that.
What other films did you make, Jan?
I was invited to do a picture with Deanna Durbin some years ago called Something in the Wind, where I played the part of a jailer. And it was wonderful working with her. She was a wonderful lady. And we sort of remained friends until now. In fact, she lives in Europe. And whenever I get to Europe, and if it's anywhere near where she is, she comes and attends the concerts. She sends flowers.
Really?
Yeah. Another picture that I was in was a picture called Of Men in Music. And we had some of the greatest names in the concert field. Rubinstein, Piatigorsky, Heifetz. There was a girl named Dean Connor.
How did she fit in Of Men and Music?
Well, I covered
Poetic Liberty.
Poetic Liberty. And we did a duet. I couldn't do a duet just like that. The duet from Lucia, the first act. And it was really a beautiful thing. And the reason I loved being part of that was not only the quality of the artists that we had, but it was a kind of a picture that you can cut into different segments. So you can make it for 10 minutes short, you can 20 minutes short, and this fellow Rudy Polk, who produced it, was a musician, a great violinist himself at one time. So he had good taste, and we reached many people who sometimes don't go to the movies. And also, if those who couldn't come, it's today in the library of many schools and many universities, and they use it as a showpiece.
And as you're talking, Jan, I'm remembering that there was also the film of Verdi's Hymn of the Nations.
Oh, yes. That, to me, was the greatest thing that could have happened to me. During the war, we made this for the OWI, the Office of War Information, and Toscanini conducting the NBC Symphony. Great rendition and a great performance.
And he could already begin to feel the oncoming liberation of Italy.
Oh, sure. He felt it was free already.
Yes.
And you know what he went through in those days in Italy, you know, when they slapped him and they spat at him and they...
Yeah, because he refused to play the fascist hymn.
That's right.
There's one other film, and we have a still from it. In the center of it is Jack Klugman, the star of a film whose title was Goodbye, Columbus. On the left are you, and on the right is your brother Mac. And it was really a family affair because the film was directed by your son Larry.
Larry Peerce, of course. A good director, incidentally. Very talented young man. Very proud of him. So is his mother.
And we also have 2 lovely daughters and 4 grandchildren. I think we've been blessed to have 3 such talented children.
We began by saying that we are celebrating the ongoing 50 years of Jan's career as a singer. This is also the year in which you're celebrating your 50th wedding anniversary.
That's right. 50 years.
You think it's been easy?
Do you think I look like this so easily, you should say? But it's been wonderful, as I say. We traveled all over the world. I saw the world through different eyes. I saw it through me, truthfully. But the honors bestowed upon Jan, the recognition for Jan, which we both struggled for, and there was no competition between us, which I think was the healthiest thing in our marriage. I was for everything that Jan wanted to do, and I think as a wife, playing the role of decision maker, it was very difficult to tell your husband something that he didn't like, because he used to say, everybody says I'm this and that, I'm wonderful, I'm marvelous, and you're the only one that criticizes. But the other people say it and walk out of your life. And we had to see that it should last and go on and on and on. And it did.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
when you can share your problems and you can look up to somebody to help you decide and make decisions. And sometimes, if she's been smarter than I at times, I saluted her and I took my hat off to her. It wasn't all terrible, terrible pain.
Jan, I didn't say all. We could divide it. Say 25 years up, 25 years
All right.
down.
That's a good average, I think.
Well, now
I
you've
think
just...
it's wonderful.
Alice, there on the sofa next to you is a pillow with an embroidered bluebird on it. The Bluebird of Happiness is the title of Jan's memoirs. And here, behind me in a cage, is a mechanical bluebird which actually sings and rotates. Jan, where did that mechanical bird come from?
Well, that was given to me by the city of Philadelphia after my 31st consecutive appearance at the Dell, their summer concerts with the Philadelphia Orchestra. And I was very honored. And I remember when they handed it to me, when they held it up for me, presented it to me, I said, what am I going to do with it? Because it looked live as it was chirping away. I said, my God, what am I going to do with a live bird in my house? But it turned out to be a beautiful mechanical bird, and every once in a while I wind it up and listen to its gorgeous dulcet tones, and I'm happy about it. But the power of that number, people, after all these years, you know, I re-recorded it 3 times for RCA Victor, and people ask for it wherever I go. I'll never forget, at one of these summer concerts, I did a Bohème with Leinsdorf at the Dell, and young people had banners.
Yes.
Sing Bluebird.
I remember.
Well, they raised such a racket and really began to yell for it that the man in charge, Freddie Mann, came backstage. He said, if you want to leave this park alive tonight, then I'll come with you. He said, you better do Bluebird.
I do not have a banner prepared, but I cannot allow this program to end without asking you to sing Bluebird of Happiness. So would you please?
My pleasure. The beggar man and the mighty king are only different in name, for they are treated just the same by fate. Today a smile and tomorrow a tear, we're never sure what's in store, so learn your lesson before it is too late. So be like I, hold your head up high, till you find the bluebird of happiness. You will find greater peace of mind, knowing there's a bluebird of happiness. And when he sings to you, though you're deep in blue, you will see a ray of light creep through. And so remember this, life is no abyss, of happiness. The poet with his pen, the peasant with his plow. It makes no difference who you are, it's all the same somehow. The king upon his throne, the jester at his feet, the shop girl, the actress, the man on the street. It's a life of smiles and a life of tears. It's a life of hopes and a life of fears. A blinding torrent of rain and a brilliant burst of sun. A biting, tearing pain and bubbling, sparkling fun. And no matter what you have, don't envy those you meet, it's all the same. It's in the game, the bitter and the sweet. And if things don't look so cheerful, just show a little fight. For every bit of darkness, there's a little bit of light. For every bit of hatred, there's a little bit of love. For every cloudy morning, there's a midnight moon above. So don't you forget, you must search till you find the bluebird. You will find peace and contentment forever if you will be like I. Hold your head up high till you see a ray of light and cheer. And so remember this, life is no abyss. Somewhere there's a bluebird of
Absolutely spectacular.
Thank you.
It was marvelous. Elliot, bravo. Really wonderful. That's right. Beware, right.
This has been a presentation of NBC News in association with the television department of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. If you would like a transcript of today's program, please send $1 to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, Television Department, 3080 Broadway, New York, New York, 10027. That's the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, Television Department, 3080 Broadway, New York, New York, 10027. Your announcer,